My name is Riva Zmajoki. I'm an author. Have some books you can buy. There's a link. There's buttons for subscribing and liking, and that's it. So I spoke about the Silence of the Lambs, and the movie that connects with it in my mind directly is Boys Don't Cry. Just like being a trans man who dares to act as a man in how long ago was that movie? It was so long ago, but I remember when it got out, everybody watched it, and everybody was like, "Oh, you have to watch this movie," and I was like, "No, this bitch is out. No, nah, not for me. No, I don't need to do that to myself. Thank you very much. I know you all were impressed, but I would be damaged. No. Let's not watch that." And it took me years to watch it. And it was on television, and I finally succumbed to the curiosity of it and watched it, and it was as terrible as I expected to be. Thank you very much. I mean, those kind of cinema is so important to do, but I call that cinema for straight audiences who can't identify too severely with the main protagonist, and you have to shock them to make them sympathize and to reconsider their stance and how their own prejudice can lead to such horrible events and to deaths and to just horrible events. So that was such an excellent movie, and today it wouldn't even get made because people would be appalled that a straight actress would play a trans man, and I'm not approving of that because we did not get the movie that Scarlett Johansson was turned away from. And I know you can hate me as much as you want, but for movies to be watched, to be seen, and to reach theaters, you need big names, and we are not in that point of time that trans actors have such big names. You have them to make a movie that will attract a large chunk of audience, and I would love to see Scarlett in that movie because I find her manly enough for that role. She's just manly enough because gender, she doesn't have to identify as a trans man. Gender is not something that is fixed. You're here and you're there. It's something that you feel, and some people feel it so strongly that they transition. And other people who are straight and cisgendered don't have to be so fixed in their gender that they can't understand or they can't act the opposite gender, as we see with Eddie Redmayne. I think he did a good job playing a Danish woman, and it was a movie that was watched and he brought in audiences, although of course I had objections because he impersonated a woman in some parts, and I think it would be better if it was played by a woman, like Felicity Hoffman played a trans woman beautifully. So I think that the role was done beautifully, although she had her controversies. But these days there are so many controversies. I just want to watch fiction. I'm not interested in private lives, although just don't cancel me yet. I'm not versed enough to have an opinion about that. Anyway, I wanted to talk about Boys Don't Cry. So I finally watched it, and of course I was traumatized. And in my mind, the scene where the lead actress, surviving one, cries is the one that has permanent resonance in my head. I think even if I get Alzheimer, which I hope I won't, that one will stay with me. And I get it. We need to shock the straight audiences into sympathy and compassion, but for queer people it's quite dangerous to look too many of those movies or to get too engrossed to them because they have too many aspects of your daily life in them, the uncomfortable ones, and you can find yourself focused on the negativity of your life and trapped in the anxiety, and it just can debilitate you into pursuing what you want to do. I can't lie. When I dress too manly and someone addresses me as Mr. Without thinking about it, I do get nervous because I don't know. It just makes me nervous. Like, okay, did I go too far? Because it's that caution that we have to have in our daily lives is the thing that is portrayed in those movies all too well. So, I don't know. I think that being queer, you have enough of those experiences and you don't need to enhance them with fiction. It's better to go into fiction that has fluffy, nice stuff that will make you feel reassured in yourself. But I would like to have a one disclaimer here because it's something my friend told me. That she watched too many sad gay movies and that she started to think that it's bad to be gay. And if you're leaning too much into your messaging and you're making only sad queer movies, you're sending a message that if your child is queer, they will face the sea of sorrow and they will be in danger all the time. And that's not the messaging that will make people comfortable with queerness. It will make them feel like as if they are sitting next to someone that will be inviting violence any moment now, that will be acting promiscuous, that will be immoral, that will be anything that those movies tend to portray quite often. So I don't know. In the end, I like to watch queer stories with happy endings, with good moral messaging, with embedded, with stories that are targeted at queer people. And you can see that when you see messaging for young queer people, like wear protection, beware of strangers. This is what the consent looks like, and those kind of subtle things that queer children maybe aren't in access to from adults. Anyway, it's a queer world. We should all get along and all stories should be told, but I'm always inclined more towards lighter stories, even though I do write some dark ones myself. What can you write what you are? Anyway, see you around and bye bye.